Hello, this is Jack Gill and welcome to Redmen Academy. I'm bringing you the reaction from Liverpool's 2-2 draw with Shrewsbury, which means that it will go to a fourth round replay. From a youth perspective, it wasn't too bad. Curtis Jones got on the score sheet again. It looks at one point like he was going to be one of the heroes. Of course, there was a bit of a collapse at the end of the game, which means there'll be a replay. I'm just going to break it down in terms of how the youngsters got on. Curtis Jones, I thought, was immense again when he gets on the ball. He looks like he's going to make something happen in the second half. It was obviously more difficult for him because he didn't have as much service. At the end of the game, he had an opportunity to win it, didn't he? The ball came to him. He does what Curtis Jones likes to do, stop the ball and then went to bend it in the top corner, but it was blocked well and Shrewsbury defended well. He also had a very good chance where he slid in to try and convert a cross into the back of the net, but it was blocked very, very well. Larouci, I thought he was the worst of the lot, to be honest with you. That's not disrespecting Larouci at all. I just think he's playing out of position, in a position that he doesn't really understand yet. We know Larouci's a left winger. In the under-23s, he even plays in the 9 position, and I think he's finding the left back position very hard, and defensively he's not very strong. So it was a difficult game for Larouci. Nico Williams, though, I thought he was absolutely terrific again. I'm absolutely loving to see the development of Nico Williams this season. I, for one, did not expect it whatsoever, but he really is becoming the perfect understudy for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, there are questions defensively, but remember with Trent Alexander-Arnold when he first came in, he wasn't 100% on defensive ability, and I genuinely think Nico Williams is going to become a better player. He's improving every time I watch him play. He is superb, and as I say, a terrific plan B should Trent get injured at any point. And it's worth keeping an eye on him. We've brought to you over on the Redmen TV a lot this season the fact that Ryan Giggs is keeping an eye on him, the fact that he'd rather play Nico Williams in the under-19s rather than the under-21s, because he wants Nico Williams to play consistent football because he can see that he is a talent. So it'll be interesting to see if Ryan Giggs decides to take him in the squad to Euro 2020. Harvey Elliot, I thought he had a very quiet game by his standards. I think the way Shrewsbury set up, they wanted to play very defensive on the counter-attack. I think it didn't really play into Elliot's hands. It wasn't his best performance at all, but we have to remember this guy's 16 years old. He's got a lot of time to improve, and the fact he's getting into this team at 16 is amazing as it is. So I think we definitely need to give Harvey Elliot time, and I think these FA Cup games are the perfect opportunity for him. Don't forget he was the star man against Aston Villa, and hopefully he plays the replay, which we'll come to in a minute. Pedro Chirivella, I'd like to praise this man again at the start of the season. You know, I was saying maybe it's time to move him on. He's 22, constantly loaning him out. It didn't look to have any future at Liverpool, whereas in the last few weeks I've started saying, why not? Why can't he push to be a long-term understudy for Fabinho? And we know that Grujic is coming back in the summer. After his 2 years of loan moves to Hertha Berlin. We know that Jurgen Klopp wants to use him in the first team then. Why not Chirivella as well? Or why not Chirivella, force Grujic out of that mould? I think it is a possibility because every time he plays, he does an all right job. I cannot remember a single time that Pedro Chirivella performed badly for Liverpool, to be honest with you. He is a very, very good player, and he showed it again yesterday, that link up with Curtis Jones for the goal. Very good finish from Curtis Jones, but the pass was tremendous, and it was another good performance from Pedro Chirivella. On to the replay now. Obviously, if you haven't heard the news already, I think you've been in a shell for the last 12 hours or so. But Jurgen Klopp has said that he won't manage the game, the replay. It will be Neal Critchley managing at Anfield. It will also be a team of kids. So there are a few questions to be answered here. Will the likes of Curtis Jones, Nico Williams and players like that be able to play still? I expect Chirivella, Larouci to be in that squad for Neal Critchley, but it's whether he allows whether Klopp allows Curtis Jones and Nico Williams, Harvey Elliot to be involved in that. And do you think Jurgen Klopp should be the manager of that? Personally, I think there's no reason why Jurgen Klopp shouldn't be managing it. I think from my perspective, I can completely understand why he doesn't want the players to play, but I think Jurgen Klopp is Liverpool manager and therefore he should be managing the game. However, I can completely understand his stance, and I think it's, you know, sticking two fingers up at the FA, who have decided to put a pointless FA Cup replay during the winter break, having told clubs in the Premier League not to organise any friendlies during that time. So I think they've undermined themselves really, and it is a problem with the FA and Premier League not communicating once again. I thoroughly think that if we are able to play players like Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliot, that these youngsters can beat Shrewsbury in the replay. I think they'll be up for it. One of my problems that I found yesterday was that Fabinho, Matip, Lovren were rusty. The kids won't be rusty. They'll be absolutely up for this, and they'll give their all. They'll give 110%, and I think they can beat Shrewsbury definitely. At this point in time, I'm going with the whole idea that Curtis Jones, Nico Williams and that will be available, and this is the team that I would select for this game. I've gone with Kelleher in goal. I know he had a shaky performance against Aston Villa, but he's improving all the time, isn't he? And I know there's some rumours that he might go out on loan, but if he's at the club, which he is at this point, I'd definitely go with Kelleher. I've picked a back four of Williams, Boyes, Hueva and Gallagher. I've picked this because Vandenberg doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. I think Boyes has been better than him this season. I think Hueva is a super player, as is Williams. And Gallagher, I've gone with a natural left-back rather than Larouci. You'll see why in a minute. Midfield three, I've gone with Chirivella, Dixon Bonner and Curtis Jones, who will be the captain. Many of you might not know Dixon Bonner. He didn't feature against Aston Villa. He's pretty much a like-for-like replacement for Christy Davis. He just doesn't have the experience that Christy Davis did. He's a very, very good player, and I think he won't let us down in that team. And then the front three of Harvey Elliot, Joe Hardy, obviously he'll make his senior debut for Liverpool, and then I've put Larouci left wing. I think Larouci left wing will be a really good idea. It will make him stand out more. He won't have to defend as much, and his attacking ability, let's be honest, is the best part of his game. And I really do think that team is capable of taking a win in the replay against Shrewsbury. However, I also think that the young lads that played against Aston Villa, the likes of Tom Hill and players like that, would be able to give their all and do a better job against Shrewsbury. Remember, a Premier League outfit is very different from a League One outfit, and I know I'm saying this when it might sound a bit weird, because obviously Liverpool didn't do very well in the EFL Trophy this year, where we put out our under-19s team. Obviously in the old St Johnstone's Paint Trophy, where they play against League One and two teams, obviously we went out in the group stage with just 1 point. So some people might be thinking I'm stupid here. I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments what lineup you go for, whether you think the kids have a chance, what you think about the Jurgen Klopp situation, should he be managing this. But all I can say to you is this is another excellent chance for everybody to watch the future of LFC, really. These young lads are absolutely very, very good there, and they are the future of this football club. And it brings me to the point again with Bobby Duncan. Obviously he left in the summer. Saifrubi came out and criticised the club and how we handle youth players. I don't think there's another club in England at the minute that has been given their young players the chances that we have. And you can criticise the club for what we're doing, but in the same way you have to praise us, because our young lads, players like Tom Hill, have played in a Carabao Cup quarter final, and that's massive within itself. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. Obviously, if you haven't already subscribed to Redmen Academy, please do like the video and follow us on Twitter as well. Thank you, and goodbye.